Hey everybody, Dr. Shook here, just another sauna session where I want to share some information with you guys on food. And in particular, I want to talk about the difference between organic and conventional foods and give you some tips on things that you might want to consider, ways that you can help to reduce your cost at the grocery store, because I know it can be an investment in your health to purchase organic food. So let's talk about that. So what's the difference, right? So conventionally raised food is going to use pesticides, herbicides, and there's typically these are synthetics. All right, these are all synthetic things. So pesticides, herbicides, and they're more commonly, I think, grown in fields where the same crop has been raised for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, which depletes the soil, the topsoil, which is the area where the roots can grow down, of the nutrients. So the food is typically void in nutrition. It also is loaded with pesticides and herbicides. Not good. And these are environmental chemicals. It's depleted of nutrients, but it has calories. And then there's another factor, which is genetic modification. So GMO, a lot of our corn, we know that corn is highly GMO. There's a lot of things now that are GMO. And you know what? The jury's out, but there are a lot of people that are blowing the horn and raising the flags because it is absolutely something that we don't know what the repercussions are going to be long term, but I'm going to tell you I avoid it. I do not recommend GMO either. So conventional can be any of those things. And actually, when I buy organic food, if it doesn't say non-GMO, then I still don't trust that the organic food's not GMO, right? And then even if it is, how do you really know? I mean, that's not a good enough reason not to buy organic food though, and not to buy non-GMOs. Do you really know? Because I can tell you I'd rather gamble there than not with it being organic. I mean, I try to get USDA organic. We don't always get that, but we want to get something that's raised with an attempt to be natural. And because we don't want the pesticides, the herbicides, we don't want this genetically modified stuff in our diet. And then the organic foods, they're raised with organic fertilizers, and they typically have a much lower pesticide load. It doesn't mean that there's none, but they're not supposed to spray them. But it's going to be much better for you typically, and you're going to see more nutrients in there as well, typically in those foods. So that's something that's really important that you guys need to look at. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it costs so much, and okay, I got you, right? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. But here's one thing. Here's a problem that I have. So I have people that complain about cost of buying good foods and about not being healthy. But yet, they smoke, they drink alcohol, they they do a lot. They have a lot of these other vices that are definitely not healthy for them. But yet they complain about the cost of spending a little bit more money at the grocery store. And so I've got to just tell you, get your perspective, get your life in order, right? Decide what's important to you and make a decision. I mean, if you can't stop, some of your bad habits, then no one's going to be able to help you. I'm just telling you like it is. These things, you have to be able to have some self-control. And I understand that that's not always an easy thing, but you can't keep making excuses. You got to do it or not. So, when you complain about the cost of like food, I get it. And some people, I already know, some of you are going to be like, I don't do any of that stuff and I still can't afford food. I can barely afford food, and I got you, okay? But I've had patients that have gone to a food pantry to get gluten-free food and that have done everything they can. And you might say, well, whatever, I'm not going to argue about your unique situations. I'm not. That's not the point of this. The point is that I just want you guys to try your best to take your health back and make a conscious effort, right, to take your health back, to make conscious decisions on what you're purchasing, what you're spending your money on, and prioritizing what's important in your life, okay? So here's the deal. Go to the EWG.org, Environmental Working Group, environmentalworkinggroup.org, download their Clean 15 and their Dirty Dozen list. It's a list of the 15 fruits and vegetables that are safer to buy conventional, and then the Dirty Dozen are things you absolutely want to buy organic. So go to EWG.org. Don't take what I said earlier the wrong way. I'm trying to help you out. You got to prioritize what's going on in your life, and see if you can't cut down your grocery bill and buy good foods and healthy foods for yourself. Okay, EWG.org. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming here to learn more about your health.